from me?
I can't.
Okay.
All right. Hello, and everyone. Welcome to another webinar brought to you by Vigilant Technologies. My name is Brandon Dugan. I'll be your co-host today. I'm so happy that all of you could join us and hope this session on supply chain transformation using augmented reality will get you thinking about innovative ways of technology usage within your organization. Most of you know technology is rapidly changing the world we live in, both professionally and personally. Whether you're looking to create a fully automated smart warehouse or romping around in the local parks trying to catch that rare Pokemon, it's evident that the times are changing. With the help of augmented reality, companies can now take a labor and paper-intensive process, like let's say order picking, which traditionally is done with handhelds and picking slips, and virtually turn them into a paper and hands-free approach using smart glasses. With this technology, organizations will see an increase in productivity, reduction of errors and entries, and streamline the lengthy supply chain process as of today. So that technology in just a few minutes, but a quick intro of the presenters today. Again, is Brandon Dugan, one of the account managers here at Vigilant Technologies, and alongside me, the better half of the co-host today, Geetha Kakade, Vigilance Director of Product Development. Again, I will take just a few minutes to showcase our company capabilities, and at that point, turn it over to Geetha to discuss Vigilant's role in augmented reality using smart glasses. But a quick housekeeping item, we want to hold all of the questions until the very end of the presentation today. We've planned about 10 minutes to address those that come through, so you'll notice a Q&A chat box on the toolbar. Please feel free to direct your questions there, and we'll try to get to as many of those as possible towards the end of this session. I wanted to talk a little bit about Vigilant Technologies as an organization. We were founded in 1999 with a core focus on Oracle and Microsoft technologies, including applications, database, and now cloud. And we noticed the need for thought leadership to bring to our customers around new technologies in the ever-crowded tech ecosystem and develop specific solutions to meet the needs of our financial, manufacturing, retail, and logistics customers. We've been tasked with being the, quote, technology experts, and it shows in our DNA as Vigilant strives for customer success, innovation, trust, and also teamwork by building these close relationships with each and every one of our clients. Our rapidly grown over the years, and as we onboarded global customers, we had to obviously build out a global practice. So as you can see here, we've been involved with over 50 large-scale projects deploying critical applications, Oracle EBS, Microsoft SharePoint, as well as other BI solutions, so OBIEE, OBIA, as well as Power BI. We have about 200 consultants worldwide that work closely with all of our client base on app development or ongoing support. As a map to the right, so we are headquartered in Troy, Michigan, with a nearshore office in Toronto, Canada, which also happens to be our cloud center of excellence, and we do have offices in Hyderabad and Dubai as well. So we're going to be talking about today and some of the key takeaways. First, I wanted to address the history of Industry 4.0 and give a quick history lesson on how we've reached such a critical point in the new wave of the Industrial Revolution. Some of the industry trends, the evolution of the supply chain process, using smart glass to transform supply chain, the solution works, and have a quick demonstration of the product. But we'd like to invite those of you interested in a full demo to join us in a one-off session, and we'll conclude today with the benefits and ROI using the smart glass solution. At this point, I'd like to pass it over to Geetha for the remaining of the presentation. Geetha, I will be sending this over for you.
Brandon, before we start, a quick intro of myself. My name is Geetha Kakade, and I come with a vast experience in the Oracle industry. starting all the way from the old 10.6 version to 12.2 versions of the Oracle applications ERP, and also a lot of experience on the cloud applications and even on the BI platform. I have ventured into majority of the product developments for Vigilant, some of them related to the e-business automation tools, or it could be a BI pre-packaged analytics product, and the latest that I am venturing into is the augmented reality smart glass product. So having said that, let's go. Brian, can you give me control? Or next slide.
Have control at this time, Geeta.
No.
At the screen center.
Next slide, I'm not able to move the slides.
It's slide 6.
Okay, so we get into Industry 4.0. Let's talk about what we are here for. Today we will be talking about the augmented reality solution that we have developed using the smart glass, and we are calling that application as the smart app. So we're going to go into the details of the augmented reality solution a little later, but to understand what is Industry 4.0, it starts away from the 18th century, where the transformation of a man-made to a machine-made started in the 18th century. That was named as Industry 1.0, and then came the Industry 2.0, where the assembly line processes were introduced. And then in the Industry 3.0, we had the electronic automation evolved in 3.0. And in this 3.0, it was also all computer related, and of course, not to forget, the journey of internet had begun in 3.0. And now we are in the Industry 4.0. It is also called the smart manufacturing for the future. This could all related to data analytics or the IoT Internet of Things or digital solutions. This is the area where we will be experiencing the awesomeness of the technology. So having said about 4.0, there is 5.0 that is going to be soon coming, maybe after a decade, which is going to be a super smart society. And according to some visionaries, 5.0 will bring human touch back to the manufacturing industry. For now, the 4.0 is going to put the advanced technologies at the center stage of the production, whereas 5.0 will actually will be seeing people working alongside in the factory systems. So this is just an industrial transformation that is going on from 18th century till now. At the moment, we are in the Industry 4.0. Next. Now, talking about how this Industry 4.0 is going to affect the supply chain process. Not only the supply chain, in fact, this Industry 4.0 is going to have an impact in all the areas in some fashion or the other. Like, for example, in the digital HR in the workplace area, or the predictive maintenance on the manufacturing side. You'll be seeing a lot of digitally enhanced products, and the customers also will be having a digital experience in this 4.0. Talking about just supply chain area alone, there will be a lot of changes that is going to evolve with all the processes related to the strategic planning, demand planning, or the supply planning, procurement, manufacturing, warehouse, transportation business, and so on. So everything related to supply chain, you are definitely going to see a transformation in some fashion or the other. It could be a digital solution, it could be an augmented reality solution, but the transformation that is going on currently in the supply chain 4.0. So what are we contributing to the supply chain 4.0? So what Vigilant is contributing is we are trying to bring in efficiencies within the supply chain area, whether it is related to warehouse process, or it could be a reporting related process, or it could be even a back office related process. Say, for example, let's talk about the supply chain analytics. Here, the idea is to provide more robust and concrete information in order to forecast and make decisions based on the analytical reporting for the supply chain department. The idea here is to bring all the information to a data stream or a data lake, which will be the source for your analytical reports. These analytical reports could be some examples could be like if the vendor is offering you, say, 2% off if he gets paid within in less than 10 days. If the vendor agrees to that, what is the savings forecast that the company could leverage? So those kind of analytical reports are something that we are in the process of bringing out for supply chain department. Even the robotic process automation. What we are doing is we are building our own bots using the Blue Prism, which can reduce the workloads of the employees, and so that the employees can focus more on other strategic initiatives, and all the back office related is taken care by the pre-built bots. So we are contributing towards the supply chain 4.0. At this session, we will be focusing on the warehouse process, which is your item picking and the item receiving process. What we have here is we have used the augmented reality solution to come up with an efficient way to perform your item picking or your item receiving. There is also the same solution that we are trying to do using the augmented reality, which is going to be deployed on your smart glass. The same solution we have it available on the smartphone and the tablets too. Those will be the digital solution that we will be providing, but it's the same solution. The only reason for the smartphone and tablet is in case there is any resistance to use the smart glass, then you do have an option to do the same functionality using a different device. Talk about smart glass. There is research that has been, there are several researches that have been laid out, and what the Forrester research indicates that in the next decade, we will be seeing 40 million people using the smart glasses, and there'll be enterprises spending about 30 billion just on the smart glass hardware. If there is so much spending on the hardware, and obviously it's a direct impact on the increase of the software and services in this technology. So if you look at a lot of the forecasting, you will see that the augmented reality solution is going to reach at a peak in this 4.0 era. Also, just to give you some info on the augmented reality itself, now we are talking about the smart glass. It's an augmented reality solution. So what the augmented reality solution is basically integrating your digital information along with some user's environment in a real time. So that's augmented reality. Usually we see this a lot in the gaming is a typical type. For example, the very recent game, the Pokemon Go, where it was combining your surroundings to come up with the gaming experience. So the smart glass concept, the augmented reality concept is going to be the next generation to go. Continue on the survey, as indicated here, you see the left side graph gives you the rise in the workforce users using the smart glass, and the right side graph is giving you the market spend that on this hardware itself. So any questions so far?
Yeah, I'm looking at this graph on the right here, and based on the research, what it's showing is a downward trend starting in 2022, 2023. So thinking that Industry 4.0 will meet a peak during this period?
Yes, of course. There will be a peak of the smart glass technology. It is going to reach a peak in the next decade, and then it is going to gradually go down. And going down is just an indication or towards our preparation to the next wave of technology, which is going to be our Industry 5.0. At this point, what is going to be involved in 5.0 is too early to talk about, but the next 10, 15 years, Industry 5.0 is going to start, and that is why that forecast shows a slight downgrade of the smart glass.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, that's a quick turnaround for the folks on the line.
Yeah. Okay. So talk about, before we get into the app itself, let's understand how a typical pick release process works. So as we all know, when an order is placed, the picker needs to fulfill the order by picking the items from the warehouse and ship it to the customer. That's the entire process. Now, this process is going to be a very labor-intensive process as it involves to identify the orders that requires fulfillment, picking the correct items and the quantities, bring the shipping labels, and then actually shipping them out. There are so many methods involved in this item picking. You have piece picking, which is a very straightforward picking method. This is again mostly for very small warehouse environment. This process is as simple as sending a warehouse worker to the warehouse with the order in hand, and that worker picking the items from the shelves and then shipping them out. So it's a very simple, straightforward, easy to implement process, piece picking. Whereas a batch picking, a worker is picking for several orders at the same time, so like a batch processing. Here, a common setup is where the worker pushes a cart with several totes on it, and usually each tote represents an order, and he will pick the items and put it in the tote, and finally comes to a final area where he will putting labels and so on. Sometimes if same item is there on multiple orders, he'll pick many quantities of the item and then segregate to the respective tote. So whatever the case, it's more a batch picking. Zone picking is where when you assign a certain area of your warehouse, you call it as zone 1, and another area is zone 2, and so on. Typically, the large items are a separate zone. Smaller parts are kept in a separate zone. So if in this case, a picker is assigned to a zone. So the picker, the large area picker goes only to the large area, and the other picker will go to the small parts zone. It could be two pickers doing two different, and then once the picking is done, then they will collaboratively marry up the items that belongs to one order. It could be like this, or it could be just one picker first finishing off the zone 1 and then going to the zone 2. So it's again zone-based picking. You also have a wave picking, which is a combination of zone picking and batch picking. So depending on your warehouse needs, I think the customers just pick one of these methods of picking, depending on how many pickers, warehouse locations, and the way they have sorted their inventory and so on. So in other cases, there are some flaws of the cost effective methods, or there could be a hit on the cost depending on the type that you pick, possibly for various reasons. We will go through that. The tip challenges that generally we find is not finding the correct items in the locations, or maybe a human error to pick up the wrong item, or not pick the right quantity, and also in all these cases it's static paper-based picking. What I mean to say is, in the typical environment, when the picker comes to his job, there will be a printout lying for him, which will list down the orders for him to go and fulfill for his day. So it's more a static paper-based picking. So in this method, there is no real-time information that the live information that he's getting, or there is no live updates to that source where the orders are present. So there are a few challenges that comes in with whichever method that you choose. So we have this smart app where we are trying to solve majority of these challenges, and so let's go through the smart app and how we are solving some of these challenges. So smart app is basically an augmented reality solution. This application, we are focusing on item picking and item receiving process. We do have few other applications that we are in the process, but for today's discussion, let's focus only on the item picking and item receiving. This is a totally paperless solution and is also real-time pick and confirmation. What I mean here is, it's a live feed that you will be getting from your source. So if there is any changes to your system, it's directed back to the picker immediately. So it's a live feed for the picker, correct items that he will be getting to fulfill. And also, as he's doing the picking information, it is a live update back to the system to confirm what is picked. So there is a live information that is going back and forth. This, the very important factor of this solution is it does capture some efficiencies of the picking process. So in the background, it maintains all these information with which you can come up with your analytical reports to see what is the efficiency of your order fulfillment, what is the efficiency of your picker, or what is the efficiency in your shipping process. So all that kind of a metrics can be pulled out from this data that it collects in the background. So this comes out. This is a part of this is one of the reporting that comes out as a part of the supply chain analytics that we were talking about in the beginning. So this is one of the area where you could, based on the metrics that is currently happening, you can forecast your future business as well. And also, this solution that I'm talking about is all available on the smart glass, as well as other devices as indicated. It could be on your smartphone or on the tablet. This again only in case there is any resistance to adoption of the smart glass. So now go through and see how the smart app or how it works and what is the architecture behind this. Brandon?
Yes.
I cannot play.
Are you able to share your screen, Geeta, at this time?
Did I see my screen, Brandon?
Yes.
Okay. So see on what's the architecture behind this smart app. You will typically have your ERP system. It does not matter whether your ERP system is on cloud or on premise. It does not matter. This is your source, and you would have your warehouse locations. The workers of these locations will be using device. Again, smart glass, smartphone, tablet. This device will have the smart app application installed on it. This app is going to interact with the integration server, which is going to provide us all the integration services between the smart app and your source system. This integration server has few other functionalities like this is the area where you can control the customer registration, the user registration, or even the device registration. Or for example, it could be even simple as you want to push out some notifications to the device users, you can control that here. There would be an admin who will be controlling all these users, devices, and so on. This integration server will also hold all the versions of your smart app. As we have any updates to the smart app, it gets pushed to this integration server from where it gets pushed to your device. So as soon as there is a new update of the app, the moment you log into your smart app, it is going to prompt you to upgrade your to the newer version. So all those things are controlled here in the integration server, which is going to provide all these services. And also, as you see here, this smart app is a cloud-based. Is stood on cloud, and there is no dependency on your ERP system directly. It is all trying to operate with the REST services only. The data back and forth is all through REST services. So the only on-prem software that you will be deploying will be the smart app installed to your device that you will be using for the item. This item picking, as we just saw the architecture behind it, to go into details of the item picking app itself, you have the picker user authentication. So the picker will have a badge with which he will authenticate himself that he is a valid user to use this smart glass. This is followed by a selection of the picking option, what kind of picking option he would like to, and based on the picking option, it would determine which item needs to get picked first. It will also give you the information of which aisle, which bin, how much quantity that needs to be picked, and so on. Then the picker scans the barcode of the item to validate and to ensure that the item that he's picking is correct. And of course, he has to input the quantity that he's going to pick. So this is basically the pick confirmation step, where once you input the quantity picked, you can confirm the picking. Again, keeping that this is all a live update that is happening. If for any reason the picker is not able to fulfill the order for various reasons, like maybe the quantity is not sufficient in the shelf, or the item is not present in there could be any kind of reason. So in that case, the picker can provide an exception reason and confirm back to the system. This process also internally initiates a pack slip for the shipping process. Currently, we have the pack slip as the process that gets initiated, but it could be configured to launch any other process or even a custom process based on your business needs. It is configurable to launch any other process after the pick confirmation. Typically, a seen that a lot of the warehouses, there will be some kind of a custom process that is involved, and so we have configured it in such a way that you will be able to launch any other process as well. And not to forget, if you have a lot-enabled setup, the Smart App also has the intelligence to ensure that you're picking an item with the earliest expiry date. So that way we are not just leaving behind the items that needs to be thrown out very soon. So it has that smartness intelligence built already within this picking item process. This Smart App is a code-based app, so it's a solution, and because it's a live feed, it is a paperless solution, and it is definitely real-time, and there's no direct license implication here. It's a as you use pay as you use model here, and it is based on the device users and nothing related to the amount of data that you're processing, or it's purely based on the device users. And talking about the current integrations that we have it enabled for Oracle E-Business Suite. This Oracle E-Business Suite could be on your on-prem, or it could be hosted on the cloud. Doesn't matter. It supports the E-Business Suite. It even supports Oracle ERP system itself, or even the JD Edwards itself. So now it's not, though we have enabled it for these three, there's no limitation on integration with any other systems, as long as your source system can provide or receive data through the REST services. This can be easily configured for any other source system as well. And there are a few other apps that we are building and should be complete very soon, are related to the item receiving. I would say this is almost complete. So this app helps us to receive the item in the right location and where the item has to be placed. The Smart Glass app can suggest the warehouse and the location where the quantity should be received. So the typical item receiving process. And we also have this self-service technician app where when a field man encounters a mechanical issue, this app empowers the field man to resolve the mechanical problems by himself with the online data and manuals pulled up right in front of him. And also, if required, it enables help from the remote senior expert as well. So this is like, instead of closing down his business for the day, he can continue by trying to resolve the mechanical issue by himself. So that is another app that we will be launching. Another app that we will also be launching is related to the quality control, where it gives you live guidance on the QA process. It gives you hands-free transmission of the video stream, allowing the technician to focus on the check analysis itself. So some of the apps that will be coming out soon, and the examples related to this, where you can stream a live video to another person. These are related to augmented reality solutions. This is all using the Smart Glass, but you can do these things even on the digital solution, but is to use the Smart Glass, and I'm even on the Smart Glass hardware itself, there are various versions of the glass that is coming out with more robust functionality and features that can be leveraged to come up with a lot more functionality and solutions in all the business areas. So let's on to a quick demo of the item picking. I'm going to demo. I'm going to talk through the demo because I think the video is very fast. So this is our smart app where the picker is going to scan, authenticate himself with his badge. Then you determine the picking type, by order, by part, by customer, by schedule. Based on your need, you will be picking up the pick type, and then you will be. So it is going to give you the first item. You will need to scan that first item. What is the quantity that you are picking? Here we are putting it as 2, so we are fulfilling the full order here. So 2 items picked, the pick information has happened, and you finish by completing this process. So it's an update that has already gone to the system. Similar on a partial pick scenario where you're not fulfilling the full order. So the required quantity here is 4, and going to input. We are scanning the item first, the item. Okay, we did a partial fulfillment. It is asking for a reason why it is not being fulfilled. The reasons for not fulfilling this exception reasons is again configurable. So did a partial fulfill. The thing that I just wanted to mention here is typically when you're scanning the item, you will have an barcode for the lot. If you have a lot enabled setup, you will have a barcode for the lot scanning too. So once you scan the lot number, it will bring that to ensure that you're picking item with the earliest expiry date. That validation would kick in if your setup is lot enabled and when you scan the lot number. So this is at a very quick demonstration of the solution on a mobile device. The recording that you're seeing is on a mobile device. Obviously, we cannot show the glass itself, operation of the smart glass, but just wanted to indicate that if you want to have a live demo of the smart glass, you can definitely visit us in our Collaborate, which I think Brandon is going to talk about it. So if you are coming to our booth, you can experience the smart glass live to demonstrate how it will work with e-business as well as Cloud ERP.
Absolutely, Geetha. Thanks so much.
Going to the next, Brian.
Yeah, certainly. So that's session, Geetha. I hope this was helpful for all of you on the line. At this point in time, we'd like to open up the floor for any questions that we could address during the next 10 minutes or so. If we do have those questions, and during the presentation, there were a few questions that were coming through. So starting off with one of the questions came through about halfway. How do you handle software upgrades and support? If we upgrade our ERP, would this app have to be upgraded as well?
No, there will be no changes to the app. You can upgrade your ERP, but there will be no changes to the app. The integration services has the capability of it has the API management gateway that controls the REST services. And if for any reason your ERP system REST services change, then you just need to give the right REST services URL in the integration server, and that is it. It will operate as normal. So app perspective, there is no changes that is required at all.
Okay. Came through Geetha. What are the license implications for these sources? Sorry.
License implications on the sources, there is no direct licensing involved here. It all uses REST services, and REST services are free. There is no additional licenses that you will need on the source system. So the source, your ERP system as such, no additional licensing required. But in order for you to use the smart app, there is a subscription fee model that we go with. As indicated, that it is based on the number of device users, and it is also as flexible as a pay-as-you-use model. That is only to use our software solution, but from Oracle's ERP system standpoint, no implications.
Okay, great. I think I may know the answer to this question, and I thought this would arise. Do you see a scenario where the glasses could register or receive another voice command? You did mention the voice capabilities from a colleague wearing the device.
Like in the self-service technician, we do have this feature enabled where you could have a video stream or you could have a live chat with your expert and so on in the self-service technician, and in fact even in the quality control app. There are a few other companies who have some solutions related to their manufacturing industry, and a lot of the companies use this feature of video stream and voice commands and so on. So it's a very common functionality that generally comes with the smart glass itself.
But if they were to pick up another voice command, that's pretty rare in any instance. They would likely have to be in the same process as well, same process screen. So don't anticipate that happening, but in rare occasion, it could potentially happen.
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
And talking about the voice controlled, I'm not sure how many of you have used the smart glass device itself. The device has the voice recognition, the voice controlled commands too. So where you either have a menu based using a touch based, keypad based operation, or it could be a voice controlled operation. So generally it is enabled for voice control operation so that you have hands free for your other things that you really want to perform. And the smart glass voice control, you can use that and do the entire start to end. Item picking that we just saw was on the mobile, but then if you're doing it on the glass, you could just do it entirely using voice control with our hands.
Geeta. Any other questions from the audience? I think we've addressed 3 or 4 as of now, but we'll take another 30 seconds or so to address any final questions that come through. And there's a question and answer chat box to your right on the WebEx toolbar pane. You should be able to address those there. Okay, nothing at this point in time. Geeta, you are off the hook. I wanted to take a quick moment to first thank everybody who joined us today. And we will be, as Geeta mentioned, exhibiting at one of Oracle's Mirror conferences coming up in April. It's April 22nd through the 26th. So if you have any plans to attend, feel free to stop by our booth number 917, again 917. We'll be highlighting some other RPA options that we have in process today, such as accounts payable bots or accounts invoicing bots, as well as the augmented reality smart glass. So at that point, we'll give live demos on site, and again, that'll be in Las Vegas at Oracle Collaborate, April 22nd through the 26th. At this point in time, I want to thank everybody for joining the presentation today. We hope you found this helpful. Obviously, the smart glass, the technology is already being adopted by some of the customers, and future pilots are being planned. So the new wave of supply chain is here, and I hope this will bring some innovation to your company, or at least get you thinking about different ways you can bring technology to the organization. We'll be sending over the presentation deck and the recording for everyone on the line, but please, again, feel free to reach out to any one of us with any additional questions or to schedule a live demo. Thank you so much from everybody here at Vigilant Technologies. Have a wonderful day.
Questions, Brandon?